Hi class. This video is going to go over an example of unit conversions. This example is going to be similar to what you could see on the major assignment and what you could also see in your DQ. All right, so in this video, we're going to go over part B. There's a separate video for part A that I'll post in the template, and this video will specifically go over part B. So what I've done here in the template is I have part B, and then I have a white text box down here that I'm going to use to write in as my paperwork. I always say you should do these on paper first and then take your paperwork and put it into the Excel. At least work out the unit abbreviations on paper first, so give yourself a guide, and then you can always do the gold cells in Excel. So we're going to work through the unit abbreviations. We're going to focus on the blue cells first, and then we'll fill in the gold cells to match the blue cells. Okay, so let's get started by reading our problem. We need to convert teaspoons per pound to fluid ounces per kilograms. All right, so our final units down here, we're going to go to fluid ounces per kilogram. And then I'm going to go ahead and write out our starting units in fraction form just to kind of match how I would do it on paper. So we're starting with 5 teaspoons per pound. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3 steps here before we're going to get to our final answer. We're going 2 units to 2 units, and we have 3 steps. So that's telling us we either don't have to use this third step, or we're going to possibly need 2 steps to convert 1 unit to another unit. Okay, so the goal here is we need to convert one of the units from the starting units to one of the units in the final units. We have teaspoons, pounds, fluid ounces per kilograms. So let's go up and look at our table to see what we have to help us. Okay, so in our table, we are looking for any pairs. So at the top, you can automatically see the first pair. We have kilograms and pounds together. So kilograms and pounds can make a step together. That leaves teaspoons and fluid ounces. So we want to look to see our teaspoons and fluid ounces in the same row together. So if you look, you keep looking, you're not going to find them in the same row together. All right, so let's find teaspoons. Teaspoons is here. Teaspoons can take us to milliliters. That doesn't help us. We need to get to fluid ounces. Okay, so we don't see any other teaspoons. So let's find where fluid ounces is. Fluid ounces can take us to milliliters. Fluid ounces could also take us to liters. So again, that's not helpful. But what if we go teaspoon to milliliters and then go milliliters to fluid ounces? So then we can step through it. We can take teaspoons to milliliters first and then go milliliters to fluid ounces. So let's write out our path. Okay, so we've got pounds and kilograms. Those are in the same row, so we're going to use one step to convert those. Teaspoon to fluid ounces, those are not in the same row, so we have to use multiple steps. We're going to two-step it. We're going to go teaspoon to milliliter, and then take that milliliter to fluid ounces. So we do need 3 steps for this problem. And we need 3 steps because there is not a direct conversion from teaspoon to fluid ounces. We got to go teaspoon to milliliter and then milliliter to fluid ounces. All right, so let's finish setting up our blue cells and then we can match our gold cells and then we can get our final answer. All right, so for this first step, we need to divide out teaspoons. For units to divide out, they need to be in opposite sides of the fraction bar. So we automatically know teaspoon must be put in the denominator so it can divide out. That forces milliliters in the numerator. Okay, let's go to the next step. I don't want milliliters in my final answer. I need milliliters to divide out. So the first thing I should do is put milliliters in the opposite spot of the fraction so it will divide out. That forces fluid ounces in my numerator. I need fluid ounces in my numerator for the final answer, so it's a good double check. Okay, so now pounds to kilograms. So don't look at these in between steps. Focus on the beginning units, pounds and kilograms. Pounds is not in our final answer. We need to divide out pounds. Pounds starts in the denominator. So to divide it out, we need to put it in the opposite spot. So it must go in the numerator, forcing kilograms in the denominator, which is exactly where we want it. So let's go through and double check. Okay, so in our first step, teaspoons will divide out, leaves us with milliliters. The first step and the second step are going to divide out milliliters, leave us with fluid ounces, and that is tracking over to our final answer. All right, and then we have pounds that are canceling out. They're going across fractions, but that's okay. So pounds here will cancel with pounds at the end, which leaves kilograms in the denominator for our final answer. So that is the flow of our steps. Let's put these in the blue cells and then we'll match the gold cells. Okay, so in my first blue cell, I have milliliters over teaspoons. That is converting my teaspoon to milliliters. Remember, teaspoon has to go on the bottom to divide out. And then in my next step, I have those fluid ounces over milliliters. This is where we're going to divide out that milliliters because it was just the middle step to get us to our goal. Divide out that milliliters, leave fluid ounces for the final answer. The third step, this is our pounds and kilograms. We're doing pounds over kilograms. And then our final answer, our units will be fluid ounces over kilograms. Okay, so we've got all of our blue cells lined up. Now let's match the gold cells. So I'm going to get rid of my writing because it will scroll with me and I don't want it to get everywhere. So let me clear out my writing and then we'll do the gold cells. Okay, so when I do the gold cells, what I'm doing is matching the numbers to the unit abbreviations. I've already done all of the work thinking through the problem of thinking how everything should be lined up to divide out. So now I am matching the numbers to the unit abbreviations. So let's start with milliliters over teaspoons. This is a gold cell, so we always want to start it with an equal sign. We're going to scroll up to the table above. We want to find the milliliters and teaspoons row. We want to put the number on milliliters first. It's in the numerator, divide it by the number with teaspoons. So let's scroll up to the table. Milliliter and teaspoons are in row 21 together. I need milliliters first and then divide it by teaspoons. And I know to put milliliters first because milliliters goes first in the blue cell. That's how I know that milliliters go over teaspoons. And then I'll hit enter. All right, for the next cell, I've got fluid ounces over milliliters. So I'll start with my equal sign, go up and find where fluid ounces and milliliters are together. They're together in row 14, and I needed to do fluid ounces over milliliters. So I'm going to click on the 1 next to the fluid ounces first and divide by the number next to milliliters second, and then hit enter. All right, my last one is pounds over kilograms. So start with my equal sign, scroll up to the table, find pounds and kilograms together. I need to do pounds over kilograms. So I'll click on the number by pounds first, divide by the number with kilograms second, and then hit enter. Now that I've got my gold cells lined up, I've got all my blue cells filled in. Now we can get to the final answer. We've already decided on what we're dividing in the steps. So when you get to the final answer, you want to multiply everything together. Make sure you do not forget the initial units. So I'll start with my equal sign. I'll find the initial quantity in the gray cell, click on that first, and then multiply by all of my gold cells, making sure I click on each of them to get that cell reference. You're going to multiply all the way through, and then once you run out of all of your ratios, hit enter, and your final answer will appear in the cell. All right, I hope this helps. Go try the ones at the bottom that are similar to this. Let me know if you have any questions.